Hey there, comics sakers. Today, let's tip our hats to one of the true giants in the industry, Jack Kirby. Known as the King of Comics, Kirby didn't just create characters, he forged entire universes, from co creating Captain America in the 1940s to birthing the Marvel Universe alongside Stan Lee in the 1960s. His impact is unparalleled. Imagine a world without the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, or the Avengers, characters that have become household names thanks to Kirby's boundless imagination and dynamic artwork. His distinctive style, those cosmic landscapes, and larger-than-life heroes continued to inspire generations of artists and storytellers. But Kirby was more than just a penciler, he was a visionary. He wove complex themes of sacrifice and the human condition into every panel. His influence transcends comics and embedded itself into pop culture itself. So as we celebrate the legacy of Jack Kirby, let's remember the man who reshaped an entire industry, left an indelible mark on the hearts of fans worldwide. His legacy lives in every page turn, every hero cheered, and every adventure embarked upon. Welcome to For Comics Sake, and my name is J.Crager. It is July 22nd, 2024. It is another Monday, and we're here for the smooth grooves of my man, William Perdomo.
Good evening, everyone. And that was kind of a bittersweet speech because I was thinking that that man's designs and mind and artistic sensibilities are splattered across probably, I don't know, hundreds of billions of dollars of pop culture property. And if you ask most of those kids going to see those movies, they probably don't know the man's name.
That's probably true. So
it makes me a little sad.
It does. It makes me sad too, but you tend to lean into the morose.
I do.
So let's not fucking do that. We're here to celebrate, not fucking bring everything down and
Well,
have
I
funeral.
can't help
There's
it when I
enough
see
alcohol in the world.
Jason Bascom, I get sad and depressed.
Fuck. So. Okay, tonight we actually have a very fabulous artist. We've been trying to pin him down for a little while now. He's absolutely amazing.
He's slippery.
He is slippery. He's a bit slippery. And his name is Chad Townsend. And here he is.
Hi, Phyllis.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. I like the topic. Kirby's pretty awesome. There's not everything. You can't possibly know every character that guy's created. He's created so many characters.
Unless you're Eric Larson. And then, yes. Yeah. He pretty much is
that big,
one historian
the whole world
who can tell you practically anything about Kirby. Like, that guy is unreal. He's a Kirby historian unlike any other person. I think Steranko is possibly at least as knowledgeable, but on the art end of things, it's Eric Larson, man. So he's the man. He's the man.
All right, guys.
What are you doing?
That was quite loud. I'm glad you didn't hear it. Thank you.
No, I heard it.
Getting some beepage.
Yeah.
Beepage.
It's got emails coming in.
So all you guys that are in the chat, if you could you go tweet out that we're live so other people will get in here. We're not running over on Twitter because I'm refusing to give Elon more money currently. I don't want to. I really don't want to, that fucking twat. What's he going to do with it?
I really can't just, hit up people, whenever I want to.
He's going to build his supervillain base on Mars.
Fucking twat. He's a twat. So,
speaking of twat,
he's a clever twat, but that's about it.
Speaking of twats, first off, Mr. Bascom, 2 killer artists, 1 awesome writer. I haven't read anything from, but I'm sure it's great too. And I answered, you prick. I do have many things for you to read, Jason. You've never asked.
You could. You're fucking blind, man, and you're bitching about not reading anything. That's really brutal to
Yeah, dick. I forgot. I should have made fun of your eyesight while I was at it.
Yeah, and I can tell you he's blind. The first time I met him, I walked up to him figuring the closer I got, he might be able to see me. Nope. I stood right in front of his face, man. was like, "Who am I?" And he's like, "Dude, I'm blind. I can't see shit. Like, I'm gonna listen to the voice." And he was like, "I have no idea, weirdo. Get away from me."
And there's Big Boss, by the way. Hail to the room, Mr. Tokame.
Nice.
Matt LaRock has got to eat dinner, but his spirit is with us.
Do it.
Feed your face, Matt.
Mr.
Do
Zablo, big
Do
fan
it.
of Sly. He's here.
Nice.
Silvar Ogre is watching a debate, but again, his soul is with us, and he hopes us a great stream. Mr. Meatbag himself, hello. Mr. Marco Jolly.
Hello, comic book aficionados, comics. I call us comic sakers.
What up, Ink? Thank you for all your help earlier with all those plumbing questions I asked you. Appreciate it, buddy. Mr. Matt LaRock, hello. J-Bot, what up, homie? How you doing? Oh, look. It's our good friend, Death Metal Hero, Mr. Luke.
Yeah.
Who called me morose down below, if I could find him. This morose. What do you say about? Oh, yeah. Listen to this morose motherfucker. While Matt LaRock says I have dulcet tones. Very good. And you got fans. Got Ink saying, "What up, Chad?" Got Mr. Rock saying, "What up, Chad?"
I think I've got friends.
Yeah. Got more friends than I do. That's two.
Yeah.
I've only got one, and he's on the panel with us.
I'm here with us. Yeah.
That's like my one friend.
No. Frag is your friend. Frag is your friend.
I'm more like his Igor. You know, it's sort of like a piece of furniture.
If I'm literally your only friend, that's pretty sad, man. Like, cause like I'm not the greatest of friends. Like,
hey, I have fun.
I'm not a good example of what a friend should be.
Luke says all that Kirby knowledge certainly counts for that giant 5-head on Larson.
Yeah. He just knows, man. And I think he actually owns a huge library of original art also.
That's gotta be something.
He called us twats, Ink Spot. Thank you, sir.
You're a twat. Thank you much.
Yeah, right, you do, Chad. See? Look at your fan club chiming up, including mine. Thank you, Mr. LaRock. I appreciate it. My fellow Oregonian, I think he's up in the Lion's Den up in Portland. So
I'm in the swampy south of Houston.
Oh,
more
good
strip
Lord.
clubs per square mile than anywhere in the United States. So I'm sure he's at one right now.
Oh, good Lord.
Anywho, we are caught up. Show and welcome, Chad. Thank you for joining us today, my friend. Oh, he's in Kaiser. Sorry.
Kaiser.
It's where the only In and Out is in Oregon.
Oh, good Lord.
I do need to do more streams, Jay. I'm working my way up to it. It's a long story. I'll get back into it.
Oh yeah, no worries, man. So we can we'll get you on more streams down the line sometime for sure. It'll be awesome.
Before we do the
wheel of wheel of what?
The Wheel of Pain. The Wheel of Pain. It's the thing that forces me to draw shit every week for these fucking twats.
Oh, I will try. I will see if my screen doesn't or video card doesn't wig out.
So did you get Carter on there too? Like you always got to make sure Xylo gets his Carter.
Oh boy.
And yeah.
How you spell his name? Zeblo? Zablo.
We know who he fucking is. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's get this show on the road. Well, there you go. There we went. There you go.
Cool.
That was pretty funny.
So we're drawing Sylvester Stallone.
Okay, well, there you go, buddy. I guess I
the hell
gave you some holy water.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's if you want to draw Stallone tonight, you can. Chad,
I'm not sure I can. Let's see. I never know until I try, right?
Do the Rob Liefeld approach. Just throw a mask on him.
Oh yeah, throw a mask on him. What movie is that from?
Get Carter.
I've never seen Get Carter.
It's based on an old film with fuck, what's that fuck's name?
You hosed yourself by putting that in there, didn't you?
I didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't. So Michael Caine played. There's a movie called Get Carter. This brutal arterial crime thriller focuses a cheeryless enforcer Jack Carter, played by Michael Caine, a tough, amoral gangster who works as a killer at the town. So, and I believe Sylvester Stallone in the remake just did the same thing. So we're just drawing Sylvester Stallone in a suit with a gun.
Well, he does have glasses on the cover.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shade.
Yeah, I mean, you can put shades on him and do all that.
Let me show you guys, and we can let's look at the.
And he wears gloves with fingers on them.
Oh, good lord!
There we go. You got it right there. Get Carter.
Tell us all about it, Will.
All right. Well, Get Carter is a 2000 American thriller film, a remake of, as you just said, Michael Caine's 1971 film of the same name, directed by Stephen Kay, and stars Sly himself, Miranda Richardson, Rachel Lee Cook, Alan Cumming, Mickey Rourke, whoa, John C. McGinley, the asshole himself, Michael Caine's in it too, and Rooney Mitra.
Okay.
Wow. Michael Caine was in it. That's cool.
He showed up in the Stallone version. Wow.
And it was a major flop down here. It was $63.6 million to make, and it made $19 million in what year? In 2000. That's a big flop.
Yeah.
It's because I didn't go see it.
Yeah.
Did it come out the week of like 9/11 or something? Like what happened?
I don't know. Let's see. Was there a reception spot?
October. It was up top to the right. It says the date.
Let's see. Among the negative reviews, Todd McCarthy of Variety called the film a useless remake. Isn't that usually what we say about these kinds of films? Like, it did not need to happen.
It's true.
So,
yes,
true. I think we can. But that's what the audience wants. What the audience is getting.
Yeah, that's what the fucking thing.
I don't think anybody wanted that.
Yeah, Craig did. Craig wanted it. So,
and yes, Get Shorty is an excellent flick by Barry Sonnenfeld, which is like an allegory of the film business, where John Travolta plays I think he's a New York gangster who operates out of Florida, who ends up in Hollywood to collect debt on a dry cleaner who faked his death. And who ran up some debt at a casino, and he ends up loan shark tracking him to L.A., where he just kind of forgets that job to become a movie producer, and finds out that movie producing is just as cutthroat as any other business.
I can't believe I have to draw Sylvester Stallone.
Look at that flex he had on the screen there for a second.
You guys want to see this? It's the black and white version of Witchblade.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one. Is that the San Diego one that
I don't know.
They put out that year?
I have no idea. I don't even know how I got it. Let's see, it came out in 2000, Volume 1, black and white edition. So yeah, I guess. I don't know if that's a flex. It's just been around for.
I'm just saying it's flex because it's really cool looking art.
Yeah, it's cool to have.
Oh.
Look at that. Oh my!
Here, if you look at that right there, you know what that reminds me of. So this
Drexel?
right here, literally is my buddy Victor Lamos. That's his face, 100%. This is definitely Drexel, but it looks like it was drawn by Joe Benitez.
Right? Yeah, it does have a Benitez-y look to it.
That's right. And I bet you this back here. Oh, it's Nate. Yeah, that's Nathan Cabrera is who that is. So he drew his friends in the background. This is my buddy Victor. He passed away a few years back. He was really awesome, dude. He was so funny.
Why didn't Mike ever finish the tips of people's fingers?
I don't know, man. Why do you always draw all of his women on their tippy toes?
Because they look sexy that way.
I guess, man. Like, couldn't you just learn how to draw high heels? Like, a little better?
I like those legs.
But you got to remember when this was done. This was a while ago. And, I don't know when this came out. I don't know when the first Witchblade came out.
We've got to wonder that if, Mike hadn't passed, where he'd be right now. If he would have if he would have developed Rob Liefeld syndrome, just kind of stay where the fans wanted him, or if he would have, his art would have changed significantly.
Yeah, it very well could have. Like, he could have became very much like Travis Charest, where his style just completely changed.
Right. But also, because he passed in that period, his art stayed golden with the fans, and they seemed to have eaten up, this art. And I have a feeling they would have wanted him to continue to draw like this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think if they could have stuck him during the Fathom time period,
yes,
it would have made them very happy if that were the case.
Travis's art changed again for like a couple years, and then he reverted back.
Yeah,
recently.
Oh, because he was doing digital stuff for a little bit, and then he went back to painting and gouache and doing washes over stuff. Like, he's weird about his stuff. I hear that he doesn't think anybody thinks he's any good.
I can relate.
For the longest time, I had a page from X-Men Wildcats Golden Years that I bought at San Diego Comic-Con around when it came out. I can't tell you what year offhand, but I paid $350 for that page off of an inker at Wildstorm. The inker's like, listen, I need to pay rent. He's like, here, I'll sell you this page and I'll throw in like several others out of the stack of pages. I was like, you got a deal. Really, I just wanted that page. But up at the top of the page, it says penciler, inker, Travis, and then you don't want to know, exclamation point, like 3 exclamation points. I was like, well, that's really weird. It kind of bothered me for a while. So I started asking around. Turns out like everybody chipped in on that book to help it get finished. So it was not all completely drawn.
It took him 2 years, didn't
it? Yeah, he was like so far behind on it that only really the first 10, 12 pages are fully his artwork.
Same thing happened with the Meta Barons too. The Meta Barons had to get changed to accommodate another artist stepping in to fill out the book.
Yeah, that's what happens when you try to make everything perfect all the time.
So you said in the past tense, Chad, do you still have the page?
I sold it to pay rent myself. Isn't that funny? Like, so but the cool thing about it was I sold it for like $5,000 to a guy.
Okay, so you made a profit.
Yeah. And I was able to pay the rent for like 3 months at the time.
Nice.
That doesn't go very far now.
What do you think that would be worth today, that particular page?
32,000?
Yes.
And you don't like to think about it.
No.
Fraga's like that. Frega had a stack of stuff, and he doesn't like to talk about it or mention it in those days where he was transitioning from comics to music videos. But there was that dry spell for a couple of years where he was leaving, or Extreme was closing down, and he was bouncing around from DC, Marvel, doing all these books. And it was at that period where the whole thing crashed, and they weren't paying dick per page. Right. It was like $100 per page, like pencils and ink. It was crazy. And he was couch diving, trying to get work, and he had a Dark Knight Returns page that ended up with Rob Liefeld for like nothing.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And when he had Art Adams pages, he had tons of stuff.
I've got a couple Art Adams pages. Then I have a complete issue of Danger Girl that Art Adams drew but his thumbnails, and they're like a little bit about this big, and they're very tight. They're like super tight without any shading or rendering on them, and I have most of them hanging on my wall.
Okay, so
Oh,
you got
wow.
those.
Yeah, and I have a Gumby page that I'm really proud of. To me, it's the best Gumby page out of the 2 books he drew.
Tokume Seth, I never said he got fucked over, but I'm not going to say he didn't. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not confirming that Frege got bent over.
And then I have a Monkey Man and O'Brien page that I pay homage to in my book, The Black Phantom.
Nice.
Yes, which is a wonderful and handsome book. It is a handsome book. It's a beautiful print job, man. And I got myself my little standee. If you guys haven't backed Black Phantom, it's on. There it is. And here's mine. Look, I've got mine right there. It is currently on Kickstarter, I believe, still, right, Chad?
Yep. It's only got like 12 days left. It's like a second chance. And then, yeah, I'm currently working on my next book. I'm a quarter of the way finished with it.
For Black Phantom 2.
Yes. I'm not calling it number 2. I want them to be self-contained stories, so I'm not numbering them, you know.
Fair enough.
Luke, you are correct. Yes, it was a story by Elmer Leonard. He's talking about Get Shorty. And then Ink said, I was going to put Jason Bascom in the background of Frog G, but it's all ages, so no dicks. He does resemble a giant penis, Ink. I agree. Hyper Potato, what up, buddy? Welcome. Thank you for coming by, buddy. Let's see. And yes, that's Luke says that story hurts my soul. He's talking about the pages that Frege had to give up to, live.
Yeah, like it was, and the only reason I hate to say this, the only reason I sold that page was because Rob Liefeld owed me money.
So both of you got dicked by Rob Liefeld on pages.
Yeah, so I don't want to throw shade at Rob, but yeah.
So pages that were formerly yours and formerly Frega's are sitting in his little vault.
Well, no, I didn't sell them to him. He owed me money for work I did, and I had to sell that page. So
what book did you do for him?
I didn't do a book. I actually, at the time, Murat had seen that I was really good at building my own website and stuff. So he asked me to do his. And then Rob liked Murat's website so well. Rob called me up and asked me to do his sites. He had like several and run them for a while. So that was part of the whole thing, but I won't get into details.
Did you do his Rob Liefeld's Creations website? That really cool one, the latest one?
No, I did it around 2005 or
so way back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay, back when it was a big deal that they were getting websites.
Yeah. It's hard to believe it. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, Chad. I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it was so hard to believe it was that long ago. But go finish.
Luke says, he says, why do all these original horror stories involve Rob?
Yeah, why do they?
And when you said Murat, I almost thought you were going to say you did his backgrounds. You know, if you remember at the back in the day, he used to have someone do his backgrounds.
No, I got to know Murat and a couple of different guys from Extreme because at the height of their popularity, they were doing tours. So I was working at a comic shop, and the owner, he brought a bunch of them in, and Murat was one of them, and we all hit it off really well playing basketball because the hotel we put him up in had its own basketball court. So,
hey Gary, welcome.
I had to go get a bird out of the house because my cat brought a bird in.
Did you and Frege ever like? Because I mean, did you and Frege have a friendship or?
Frege won't remember me. However, I remember sitting with him at the round tables next to the extreme booth. In the little food court area, and watched him ink a cover to Black Flag. I remember just sitting there in awe, and I thought, man, Frege is the coolest. I can't remember offhand.
Is it the big triple page one?
No, it was a single cover. I just remember I was just so enamored or in awe. Like, this dude is so cool. Like, he's the coolest dude, like, and I'm watching him ink. But at that time, I was assistant to a bunch of different guys in the industry. So I was sleeping on couches and working at a comic shop and doing assistant work for people in the early 90s. And I really wanted to be an image guy, back then.
Oh, we all did. Like all of us.
I got the kind of be an image guy. I cleaned their toilets.
My son Gary's in the chat. Hey, Gary, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Gary. Well, I shouted him out. You didn't hear me?
Nice. Yeah, I just wanted to say hi. Yes, I did.
So I did spend a little time with Dan. I don't think Dan will remember, and that's fine,
Well, he's probably watching right now because I made him tweet this out. The other say that his Black Flag #1, which was like a trait, and I'm going to say this and make everybody jealous, including Luke, is that triple gatefold one, that maximum press one, and he actually gave me that one for my 16th birthday.
Oh man, that's so
and I've got it in my hallway in a frame, so I'm like the keeper of that because I think if I were to die, I would have to go back to Frege. It's like his favorite piece, but it's kind of cool having it because he knows where it is.
Yeah.
So I'm really impressed with this. Real quick, how fast you've knocked this out, got his likeness, and that it's really cool.
I'm still kind of scribbling away. I'm just trying to find most of the common shapes. But I spent a long time doing likenesses.
Right.
And when I first started drawing, I primarily drew likenesses of people and portraits. I liked doing portraits. I thought that was the easiest way to learn something, to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things I really excelled at was doing portraits when I was younger, and I can still do portraits fairly quickly. So this one's off. I can tell it is.
I can, but see some wonkiness, but at the same time, it's like you really nailed his look and his likeness. So, I mean, if he showed this to Stallone, he would be impressed.
I think it's also
that's pretty good.
It's not a matter also of symmetry because this is too symmetrical for Stallone. I think because Stallone has an odd face in that he had a stroke when he was a baby, and part of his face is kind of off, so it's difficult to do non-symmetry,
Yeah, his little lower lip
or
on one side,
or Bell's palsy.
Yeah, I think he was born that way, right?
I'm not sure, man.
Sure.
I have no idea.
But what I'm saying is that he's drawing him as though there's nothing off, and I'd say it would be much harder to do that because Stallone has a very unique face because of these problems he had as a child.
Well, I know this. I know that if I...
A couple friends of mine, they were portrait painters for a long time, and one of them, he gave up, and he said he just got tired of it. But they said the trick was anytime they learned real quick, and when you're doing portraits of people want you to fix their issues, what's wrong with them in the portrait, and make them look better than they really are. So if their nose is off or something, that's what they want. And they want you to make their nose look better,
It's true. Like some people want those things fixed, uh, but they're the fact that they look that way is what makes them who they are, right? Like, uh, if I were to draw Scarlett Johansson and not make her like little butt nose,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be Scarlett Johansson. It would just be some chick, right? So uh, it's her imperfections that make her who she is, as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
Look, yeah, we're gonna try to fix this now.
Nah, you're just gonna tighten it up now.
Well, Craig says, I always tell
am.
artists that I'm not looking for a photo reproduction, Crager. I want their take.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow, he's got a Stallone in his avatar, doesn't he?
Indeed. Look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Tokumit says he did porn. Scary. Thank you for adding that, Seth.
He did not, did he?
He did
Yes, I believe
softcore porn back in the day, like when he
called the
first
Italian
started.
Stallion.
Not a big deal. Not a big deal. People make a big deal out of getting naked. Quit it.
I remember going. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
Stallone had a mouth muscle tendon severed at birth by use of forceps.
So I guess it was a malpractice that got him where he is. It was something in the womb.
He owes that doctor.
Okay, I'll let you out. Relax.
I forgot what I was going to say though.
Yeah, I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I remember as a kid going and seeing Cobra, and I went and found a box of matchsticks and started sticking them in my mouth, walking around everywhere.
That is the weirdest movie, Chad.
I know.
It's like it's got nothing. Like, I mean, it's cool and we love it. We love the car. We love the gun. We like Sly, but there's absolutely no reason why the villains are doing what they're doing.
No, but as a kid, it doesn't have to make sense.
Right, you got Brian Thompson just smashing axes together, going
right. Yep. That's why I say, like, a lot of times now, like, people get very critiquey about movies, and I'm like, well, the movies we had as a kid, they were just as bad, like, but we ate it up because that's what we had, and it was fun.
Yep.
Well, do you know what that movie is like a vestigial piece of, right? It was supposed to be Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
Because Sly was supposed to be Axel Foley, or the iteration that they had where it was going to be an Italian cop before they moved it over and made it Eddie's.
I just learned today there was a pilot for a Beverly Hills Cop TV show made.
With Eddie?
Eddie cameoed in it, and it was like passing the torch off. It was his son, Eddie Murphy's son. Was the new Beverly Hills Cop, and he was going to be on the force there in the hills, and he was wearing his dad's jacket, I saw a piece of it today on Twitter, and I'm like, no way, I couldn't believe it. So,
no.
It's kind of like Tremors. Remember they made a pilot for Tremors, and it came and went, no one ever saw it?
Yep.
With Kevin Bacon and everything?
Wow.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh, well, thank you, Craig. See, Craig unhealthily knows the stats. Originally called A Party at Kitty's and Studs, the producers offered to sell it back to Sly for like $100,000 when he made it big. Stallone said nope, so they re-released it as the Italian Stallion. There you go, everyone.
It's really funny. I always tell my wife how awesome Sylvester Stallone is, and she's like, no, not doing it. No. It's like he is. He's really awesome. You have no idea how awesome he is. No,
he's great.
And I never will, she says.
I wanted to be Rambo after First Blood.
I wanted to be Michael Jackson when I was a little kid.
That too. I think we all wanted to be a bit of everything.
I dressed in a Michael Jackson jacket and blackface when I was a little kid because I loved Michael Jackson so much. I would totally be canceled now. my friends dressed up as like Evil Knievel, like a drunk. Uh, and I dressed up as Michael Jackson when was still black.
Evil Knievel was cool.
Yeah, he was. They had toys.
I still got them.
Oh, you
I
still
thought
have
I came
those?
into more of the what was his name? Not Evil Knievel. Who was the one in the '90s?
Robbie, his son.
No, the Daredevil of the '90s. He was. They had Super Dave Oswald.
Oh,
Super Dave. Super Dave had been around since the 80s, buddy. He wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah, but he was
on.
like big in the '90s. He was in, like cartoons and all these things.
He was big in the '80s too. At late night on Showtime.
That's right. That's right. So that shit. I grew up with that stuff.
A very
Super Dave.
distinct voice.
He was.
Yep.
He was awesome.
He's hilarious.
Super Dave was awesome.
By the way, Luke, did you know that they were going to make a live-action Hong Kong Phooey movie with Eddie Murphy? They already did. It's called Bowfinger. It's at the end of the film.
No, there's like a few minute clip going around with him doing the voice, and it's like potty humor in it.
Potty humor? What's that mean?
Yeah, he's drinking out of the toilet bowl and thinks it's where you get your drink. It's weird.
Eddie must be very happy that he had his run-in before social media and the internet, and nobody remembers.
That shit's awesome, dude. Like, nobody remembers that he picked up a transsexual.
Yeah, everyone's like, haha, fucker. Like, nobody remembers my great fuck up.
I don't think it was a fuck up. Like, if you own that shit, how's it a fuck
I don't
up?
think he did. I think no. What did he say to the cops? Are you just giving him? You know,
I was giving him a ride down the road. That's all I was doing. He needed a ride.
He should have talked to Charlie. Remember, he's like, remember the skit when he's talking about what was it? Shout! He's like, you see that new bitch in Sound Marsh? She firing a motherfucker. He's like, Mickey Free is not a girl. Mickey Free is a boy.
That's hilarious.
I don't remember that.
This was back in the 80s, you know, when androgyny was a thing, right? So if you dress like a bitch, you got all of the women. You know, I was up in there in my zoot suit and everything. He's got like a Jerry curl.
So good.
Yeah, it was.
I knew
HBO comedy specials were like a thing that everybody got excited about
because they're always on late night. That's where I discovered George Carlin.
Yep,
was on an HBO comedy special.
It was him. He was actually the very first guy on HBO doing a comedy special.
Mm-hmm. Martin Lawrence was another one I discovered on there at midnight, and then you had Def Comedy Jam. That had like.
Yep.
Who was on Def? Everybody was on Def Comedy Jam. Now that I think about it.
Yep.
Chris Tucker was on it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. See, now it's starting to look like Sly.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, there we go. It's a younger version of Get Carter or Sly. But this is back when he was getting into the business, you know.
Get smarter.
I'm working on it. Relax. It'll get
Craig
there.
says he was indeed looking for a ride. And Marco saw Carlin as well. We all saw Carlin, who was a professional complainer. Probably one of the first professional complainers.
He was awesome.
I think Marco might be saying he actually saw him.
Oh, he actually, he saw him in person. He actually, in one of his rare appearances.
Well, Marco's of that age where he would have still saw him when he was performing, I'm sure.
This is almost a useless question because I know what you guys are going to say, but what do you think is, if you had to pick one out of his catalog, is the quintessential Sly film?
Oh, man. You got to say Rocky no matter what. I mean,
okay.
Unfortunately. I mean, but I like First Blood and a bunch of others, but.
You know, the only. Let me see. Let me think about that.
J-Bot says Tango and Cash, homeboy.
Yeah, it was pretty good, man. I like Tango and Cash. You know, I really like Demolition Man.
Yeah,
I was going to say that. That was going to be mine.
I really like it, but I really like the first Rambo too.
Yep.
Yep.
First
Had a
Blood.
big effect on me. I mean, obviously, you know that, Crager, that it had a big influence on me.
It definitely did. So
You know, that's fair. I'd say Copland of his later life films is probably stands out the most.
Good call. Good call.
That's a good one. Good job, Craig. I like that one. Copland.
Judge Dredd's world was more like Judge Dredd than the new Judge Dredd, even though I like the new Judge Dredd.
Yeah, the ABC
the old Judge
Warriors.
Yep.
Yeah, it's more like a comic book. The new Judge Dredd is very postmodern.
Well, I hope I'm doing this justice, guys.
I am the
Dude,
law.
You're doing great, man. I haven't even drawn anything.
I remember.
You haven't drawn anything?
No, I'm watching you. I'm enamored
I'm just
here.
watching me draw. How boring! How boring!
It's not boring. I love watching people draw.
It's so I can do portraits relatively easily.
Oh yeah, look at Job on Dead too.
Yeah, I can do this stuff. Like this is the easy part. Looking at a photograph to like draw from is super easy.
Going back to his Dredd, I don't really remember much of Sly in it. What I remember a lot about that Judge Dredd, the Danny Cannon one, is Armand Asante like gobbling the scenery in that movie.
Yeah, but I just think the world felt more like the comic book.
Oh yeah, and it was also shot in England, so it had that. You know what it had? It had that great Pinewood built up tangibility like Batman. Remember Batman? How Gotham was built in this giant backlot.
Right.
I have a friend that was a stand-in, like in a background person in the first two Keaton Batman movies.
Fun.
Yeah. He said he got paid like $200 a day doing it.
Just sitting there, sitting in the background.
Yep. It's funny. I never, until I saw it in 4K, could I point him out.
Wow. Nice.
And then you had that great, and also it had not Oliver Plummer. Oh God, who played the head judge? I want to say Oliver Plummer, but it's not. It's the Seventh Seal.
You can't ask me to remember anything while I'm drawing.
You guys know what I'm talking about. Come on, this is a chat full of film buffs. Bergman's leading man. He's in
do your jobs, fuckers. Remember.
I've only seen Seventh Seal once.
Oh, God, I cannot. Max von Sydow. There we go. Max von Sydow.
There you go.
He was great in that film in Dredd. Yeah, there you go. Great. Craig came. He was in the bathroom, but he came to the rescue after the fact.
He's great in Flash Gordon.
Oh yeah. Death Metal Hero says Dredd was better film though. Carl Urban did not take his helmet off. They wanted Sly to not do that, but what are you gonna do? It's Sly. He's taking that fucking helmet off.
It's not like his lip wasn't recognizable,
So if anybody ever thinks I can't draw fucking portraits just straight out of nowhere,
yeah,
here's your shit.
That was a Carrico film, wasn't it?
Oh no.
And I do like the armor and the giant chunky guns in that film as well. You know what I'm talking about, Chad?
Yep.
The Lawgivers are much cooler than I think. I mean, I know the new Dredd. I like Carl Urban's take on it. I like the new Dredd, but I thought the comic bookishness of the original was more closer to the 2000 AD spirit in terms of design.
Yeah, even the guy with the dial on his head, I can't remember.
Mean Machine.
Yeah.
Mean Machine. Yeah.
And this is Maine. And And you had what was his name? Who's the comic relief in that film? Who played his little like sidekick?
I don't remember.
The animal, the hot chick, Deuce Bigelow.
Rob Snyder.
Yeah, Rob Schneider. Where he like tries to weasel out of. He's like, hallelujah, brother, go tell it on the mountain. Rob Schneider. See, everybody knows but me. I mean, I haven't been taking my vitamins today.
You are fired.
I didn't take my mushrooms tonight, Crager.
You need to.
Man.
Yeah, you're sounding like you're punchy. So
I am kind of punchy.
Yeah, you're kind of punchy.
It had a bit of a fantastic to it, sure. This is Luke speaking, but the addition of Rob Schneider as a psychic made it too goofy for me, even as a kid. And that was a typical '90s formula. Guys, in an action film, you had to have the leading lady, you had to have the comic book front man, and then you had to have the comic relief sidekick that was either a really dorky dude or some sort of ethnicity, usually a black guy, saying, damn, oh, shit, something like that, or making some kind of witty
Here
comment.
Comes trouble.
Here comes trouble.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I think I did pretty good here. I'm not bad.
Holy moly. It was a producer that refused to let him keep his helmet on. They said they weren't paying $17 million to have their star's face never be seen.
We know who he was. He didn't have to show us. We know what he looks like, guys.
I don't know. I don't know, Luke. I love that. I love that film. I was excited to see it as a kid. I enjoyed the look of it. And it's fun.
Yeah.
I still watch it. And I just think the Alex Garland film can be a little dreary to watch sometimes, and I'm not always in the mood for it. But you know what I like about these remakes or these different interpretations of core material is you can kind of pick your mood. If I'm in a more cheery mood, hell, I'm watching the Danny Cannon one. If I'm in a more serious mood, then I can watch the Alex Garland one. He didn't direct it; he wrote and produced it. I don't know the guy who did that. Point of View movie directed, the one where they have the assassination, where they go rewind to different points of view of that assassination.
I don't remember that.
Can't remember his name. He only did like 2 movies.
Huh. Don't remember.
So speaking of Jack Kirby, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jack Kirby,
Jack.
So I don't know if you know, like there was a hurricane that hit Houston, where I live.
I heard
and
that.
my backup generator lasted, because it's a natural gas generator. It's installed kind of like an AC unit, so it's a permanent thing. It's not like some little thing on wheels you like pull up to the house and you plug it in and crank it up. No, It's a natural gas generator, and it died after 3 days, and so we were without power.
How hot is it down there?
It's so damn hot and humid. So we were without AC for days and just miserable. And they were saying, "Oh yeah, your the power's not going to be back on in your area for a whole other week." And
holy shit!
So I was just like, "Oh man, this sucks." Fortunately, my wife and I, we have one of these for our Disney Visa Chase credit cards or whatever. And we racked up, like, since COVID, we racked up like so many Disney dollars. We had enough to just go take a trip to Disney World. So we're like, screw it. The whole family. Let's
get out of here.
Let's hop in the car. If I'm going to be hot and miserable and sweaty, I might as well be having fun, right? So let's go ride some rides. So diving into a Kirby story, actually, now that I think about it, we got on the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster in Epcot. And I got to tell you something. It is by far the most incredible ride experience I've ever encountered in my entire life. It's a roller coaster like no other. It's so fast and smooth, and it's long. It's not like a short ride. and all the individual cars rotate independently and through the turns and stuff.
Wow.
And you're like flying around planets. It's like Space Mountain on crack. And there's a point where you're flying around and there's this big, giant, massive Jack Kirby villain, character that's like a space god fighting an army, fleets of like spaceships attacking it and just swatting them away, whatever. And it's like it's towering over you, like bigger than shit, like it's huge. And all the same time you're listening to a different rock soundtrack like song. So so each time you write it, you get a different song. So the first time we wrote it, we heard Blondie Call Me, and the second time was Flock of Seagulls, And I Ran.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was I can't describe how amazing it was, but I highly recommend if giving it a shot. It made me a new it made me a new fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
so Florida, or
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So was your power back on when you got back?
So while we were gone, we just got back last night, and our power came on right around Tuesday, Wednesday. So
nice.
What's the temperature down there? I thought you were in Texas.
Yeah, I'm in Houston.
Okay, so you guys drove to Florida.
Yeah. So,
okay.
But we did it halfway and then stopped and stayed with some friends in Alabama that we met. We met them on a cruise a couple years ago in Europe, like a river cruise, and we ended up becoming like vacation friends like after that and hitting it off so well. Like, anyway, yes, it is in Epcot, Jay, and dadgummit, dude, I can't recommend it enough. Like, I've ridden the Harry Potter stuff, and even that doesn't even come close to how cool this is.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
That kind of reminds me. I remember my parents would take me, because I went to San Diego Comic-Con for about 5 years straight from about 11 to 16. I remember during the first half of those years, my parents would drive me and my buddy down, drop us off.
Oh,
shows you a different time. Drop us off, and then they would go to Mexico to visit their friends in Mexico.
Wow.
And then on the way back, pick us up at the end of the day when we were done.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, man. So, picking up the drugs to smuggle them back across the border?
I didn't say any of that. But my dad was known to cut corners.
I'm sure he was.
He did get detained once in his home country for forging his passport.
I think me and your dad would have probably gotten along very well.
My mom was very much straight edge when it came to everything, and I remember my dad was going back to Uruguay, and my mom's like, "Do you realize, whatever it is, like your entry, I don't know, the Uruguay, whatever it is to get into the country over there was expired, so he just erased it, crossed it out, and wrote it." She's like, "You're gonna get arrested." He's like, nobody cares, and of course he got detained and put in jail. But because they're all crooked down there, he called some friends that he knew in the government from his childhood, and they got him out.
That's so rad. See, your dad was
because they're all crooked down there, so he was able to get out overnight. But it was just funny that he's like, he just like erased it.
That's fucking awesome. He's awesome. Okay, I think this is kind of what Craig's getting, man. Like, there's your sexy. Look how pouty and sexy he is.
J-Bot wants to know, is that at Epcot, Chad?
Absolutely.
Oh, there you go, buddy.
Well, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And Luke says Hulk coaster at Universal Studios Florida is the best coaster.
It's a great coaster. It is a great coaster. But yeah,
I'm assuming it's not the Eric Bana Hulk coaster.
Absolutely.
I don't think they had his picture with it. I think it was like the what Hulk was it? Who drew Conan? What's his face? Buscema. I think it was a Buscema Hulk.
Yeah.
Meet the Perdomos, indeed, Marco. And now that you're almost done, Craig says, my wife is seldom impressed. She walked by and saw Crager's drawing and stopped. She said, that's nice. High praise indeed. And she is right.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate
This
it.
is amazing. So cool to watch it drawn live. Finally. I mean, he's been asking for that. He's another one who's been asking since the beginning, I think, for this.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? I run hot and cold sometimes when it comes to like doing stuff, and some days I'm just not okay.
Who
And
asked for Sergeant Rock?
Was
it
Matt
Gordon?
I think it was Matt LaRock.
Are you sure he asked? I think it was Gordon, because there was somebody who was asking for Sergeant Rock all the way in the beginning, and that Sergeant Rock was cool because it was two. Remember, it was yours and Matt Weldon's. Because remember, Matt Weldon donated his too.
Yeah, mine was okay. I don't think it's as good as like doing a Stallone, like Abalule.
I'm just saying because that was one that person was asking for from the beginning.
That's okay.
Hyper Potato. Okay, yeah, Hyper Potato got the Sergeant Rock Weldon Crager one.
There you go. Abalule.
Luke says no. It's based on the comic books with original animation for the Wait in Line.
Oh, right.
And then the rest of Marvel Island is by Adam Kubert, according to Luke.
Who happens to live in the area?
He does.
Yep.
Abalule.
That is pretty damn cool, man. That he kind of has a Chow Yun Fat vibe to him.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. I can do portraits all day long.
Well, thank you, Craig. He said, I'll post it. I'll post a drawing on my two sites with links to Crager's YouTube. Hopefully it'll bring in more folks. Thank you, my friend. Any splattering of our digital DNA, wherever you can put it, please infect other people with our awesomeness.
Infect them. Yes.
Yes.
Spread our gooey love on them.
Yeah. We're just STDs waiting to be passed around.
Please. Yeah, exactly.
I love being a social disease. Like in Cobra, the disease.
I'm
so
the cure.
sexy. He's so sexy.
That's what he was called. The guy in the beginning, he's like, I am the disease.
Yeah,
Crime is a disease.
I'm the cure.
I'm the cure.
I'm the cure.
And Brigitte looked really hot in that movie.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. She looked great in Beverly Hills Cop. Was it 2 or 3?
Yep.
Was it 2?
That's when she was in her Rocky 4 look, that like streamlined Soviet look.
Yeah, she was pretty ridiculous. Like how hot she was in that.
Yeah, Flava Flav got her later on in life.
He did when she was old and beat up.
Yeah.
Sad. He's doing the same thing he did to what's her face. Not him. Gosh, I'm sorry. I was blanking. I was thinking of Whitney Houston and what's his face.
Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I was. When you said Flava Flav, I was thinking Bobby Brown.
Nah.
Flava
Flav. He got himself some Brigitte.
Yeah.
After Brigitte got hit by Sly, got hit by Tony Scott. Everybody got up in her. It seems.
Slamming.
I don't think Dolph Lundgren, because I think Dolph Lundgren was dating Grace Jones, of all people at the time.
Yep.
That's how he got discovered, because he was Grace Jones' boyfriend. They would have been an interesting contrast, because you've got this tall, lily white Nordic man and this sleek, dark black woman. Remember, Grace Jones was like sleek. She almost looked like a car.
Yeah, he was really white. So,
but them standing next to each other was just crazy, because it was literally like a checkerboard. It was like black and white.
Abalule.
Like I say, it's all who you sleep with in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. And it's not Grace Jones. It depends. If we saw, some of us saw her in Vamp, some of us saw her as Strange in Boomerang. So you pick your Grace Jones.
Yeah, She was pretty awesome in all those.
Conan.
Yeah,
Conan. There you go. There's a middle period.
Yeah.
What? She was a vampire in a movie too.
Yeah, Vamp.
Vamp. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Abalule.
That's what put her on the map. Was Vamp. Terrible film, but it was more of just a commercial for her, right? Because she was just all over the advertising of that thing.
Oh
she
yeah.
Was she was in a Bond movie.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She was a good villain.
My favorite is great. It was her in Boomerang when she's tormenting Eddie Murphy in that film. So what are you and I going to fuck?
She's hilarious.
Because she looks like she's going to devour you every time she looks at you.
Yeah, she's going to eat your flesh.
Yeah, man. Like Dolph Lundgren didn't stand a chance, dude. He was working that club as a bouncer. She rolled up and said, "He gets in my limo."
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, she hooked him up. Yeah. A View to Kill.
That's my favorite Bond song.
A View to a Kill. Yeah, I remember that.
I think she made a couple, like an album, didn't she? She was also a musician.
Yeah, she sounded a lot like Yoko Ono.
She did those weird, like, brutalist music videos.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is Tokume's like Grace Jones would have made a great Catwoman. I don't know about that one. She was a bit too.
Did I really?
I thought
done well.
What's up, Chad?
Nielsen would have done well too as a Catwoman.
Mm-hmm. Eartha Kitt was fine as Catwoman because she pretty much is Catwoman. She even spoke like that later in her life. I am Eartha Kitt. You know how she spoke.
Yeah, awesome. She made I wanna F sounds in her voice.
Who was the other cat when the white one?
Julie Newmar.
Julie Newmar. I should know. Thanks for everything. Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Man, Jim Ballant introduced me to her when he was drawing Catwoman, and man, she was so amazing looking even then, like as an older woman.
Julie Newmar.
She actually
so well.
That's kind of cool. Luke said she would have made a much better Storm. I think she would have been a cool punk Storm, Grace Jones.
Yeah,
with the punk look.
Yeah, she would have been a perfect Storm.
Yeah, talking about that John Byrne Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta draw all these little dots on this fucking tie. Are you kidding me?
That's my favorite Storm, like the Mohawk.
Yeah, she is the best Storm. That's right. That's all I have to say about that.
Like, I loved Art Adams drawing her.
What up, Moroni?
All
Welcome,
I
buddy.
have to say about that.
Better late than never. Moroni seems to either come in the very beginning or at the very end.
Well, he's got things to do.
Yeah, we appreciate anybody who shows up and actually tolerates us.
He never comes in the middle. He's always at the very beginning or at the very end.
Okay, I'm officially done. So
yes, there we go.
Wow, you spent all
that is cool.
You had on this.
It took you about an hour because I think we bullshitted for about a good 5 minutes before we started it. So
yeah,
it took you about an hour to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time too for me.
Bravo.
Yeah.
There we go. 50 minutes. Tokume was counting. 50 minutes.
Oh,
the reviews are in. Excellent by Mr. GJ.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. So I can draw me some Sylvester Stallone.
Heck yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. And we had Chad. I mean, you know how hard it is to get Chad on a show? I mean, it's a limited edition. You have to go through like 8 packs of cards to get a Chad.
We did. We got a Chad.
I appreciate it. That makes me feel very good. I appreciate it.
I'm grateful. I'm happy.
We like that you came on. So
I'm more. You know what? If anybody's listening, I'm better spontaneous than somebody planning weeks ahead of time. Like, if you're like, "Hey, what about this date?" I'm like, I don't know.
don't know what
I
you're
gotta get you
doing
and Plagal
tomorrow.
on at the same time.
Yeah, just tell me, "Hey, I'm gonna be on." Throw me a link, and then I'm more apt to like hop on.
See,
You know.
you and Plagal have like almost the same mannerism. It's really funny.
Well, it's just I do so much planning, like that sort of thing. I just want to be spontaneous, you know.
Okay. Well, shit. Then we'll just throw you a fucking something out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
throw me a hook, and
So, but here's the thing. I'll throw it up on YouTube at some point that you're going to be on my show, and
Right.
you won't see it, and then I'll just ask you like
One
a
night.
few hours before, like, "Hey, you busy?" And then you'll be like, "No, I'm busy tonight." And then I'll be like, "Hey, man, I totally pumped it this week, so make 10 minutes, get on here."
Right.
So, yeah, and
Get
then
your
you'll
ass
be
to
fucked.
Mars.
Yeah, and then you'll be fucked that you have to come on my show and you said that. And yeah, and I'll hold you to it.
Excellent.
So yeah, man. Sorry. That's
I
how
always
it
thought that
goes.
Chad was operating out of a pet store because my eyes just register like pet aquariums in the
That
background of all
big
the
no.
giant
goats.
aquarium behind him.
I got this awesome McFarlane Hulk poster right there that I got
Now
as a
I see it,
kid.
but I couldn't actually tell until you just said that.
I got all kinds of toys, Snoopy. Yeah.
I thought they were aquariums. You had like bearded dragons back
Got
there.
got Buzz McKenzie back here. I can't point properly, but he's over my shoulder here.
Okay, I see a Venom, right?
Yeah, a McFarlane Venom that they made like in the early '90s, like at Toys R Us.
McFarlane made a Venom that
No,
early?
no, it wasn't a McFarlane
Oh, the
made.
McFarlane Venom.
It was the McFarlane Venom that was made. Let me grab it so you could. It's literally
because everybody wants to see it now. Luke is like, the Venom figure is dope. See,
look.
he's right. See, look, Craig said it. I thought it was a huge aquarium, but I didn't see fit. See, he's right. See, it's not just me, Chad.
Yeah, but
That's awesome.
It is
That's
awesome.
cool.
That's pretty cool, man.
You know, it's funny. Well, everybody thought Todd was like the bomb.
It's a little bit funny,
but I worshiped that guy so much as a kid.
I do like Eric Larson's creeper version of Venom with like a giant drooling maw. I love it.
Yeah, that is. I think that's the better version of Venom. It's the drooling, teethy, just crazy. Yeah, I like it. I
think
that's the one that stuck pretty much, right? That is what we have today.
Oh yeah.
I think what it was appealing about it was it almost made me feel like I could draw when I saw that stuff. You know, it made me want to draw. And it's not the best when you go back and look at it. It's really not that great, but it's still fun.
Has Todd ever addressed the changes to his design on Venom?
Yeah, he has several times. Like he even says, he's not partial to the tongue, but he doesn't mind the teeth. He doesn't mind but he knows he didn't design the tongue aspect of it, but that's one of the versions of him. So whatever. I mean, you can't really be a stickler after something like that comes out. It's been around 25 years and other people have been doing, other shit with it. So,
and is that Toy Biz, Chad?
I don't remember. I just remember buying it at a Toys R Us right around 90, 91, somewhere in there.
And
nice.
Hey, there's Matt Weldon. What up, my friend? He says he loves him some Spuds McKenzie.
That's my
glad to see you here, buddy.
That's my bud, Matt.
Wonderful
I love
man.
Spuds McKenzie.
Great guy. Awesome. We all love Matt Weldon. I'm a big fan of Matt Weldon. Love his art.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he did Sergeant Rock, and he just like smashed it when he was on here.
He did. See, I can draw, fuckers. I
Yeah,
can
so look at
draw.
this one, Matt. What do you think? This
I
is
did this. Yo, hey, Adrian. Adrian.
It looks like a really old photo, like, you know.
Yeah. Yo, Adrian. There we go.
Let's see. Luke says, "I like the idea that the deeper in psychosis Venom Eddie goes, the more crazy, monstrous he looks. The more sane he is, the more reserved he looks." So,
Okay. That's cool.
and plus, you get the iconic cover that I love. One of my favorite Spider-Mans, the "Oh Yorick, I Knew Him" Horatio cover.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Eric Larson one.
Yes. Yes. Oh, did he just touch his mic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And-
I got a cough. I didn't want to cough in the mic.
All right. Did you draw anything tonight, Chad, or are you just chilling?
I did not. I'm sorry. Like
It's cool.
if I draw digitally, it messes with the camera and
One day
glitches me out.
One day we all want to see you draw.
I will do it. I promise.
In the meantime, you can still get Black Phantom.
That's for sure.
I think it was just the Stallone thing kind of threw me off. I was like, I don't know if I could do this right now. Yes.
Yeah, I knew it was coming eventually, that I was going to have to draw Stallone.
Check it out. Check out Black Phantom. Boom.
But
Nice.
so as soon as the campaign's over, I'm shipping these out in 12 days. And I've got, you get a Kid Squid and the standee and these really cool glow-in-the-dark stickers. They're the brightest sticker I've ever seen. Like, it'll blind you. It's that bright. So
nice.
And it would be cool to get one day the Squid Comics sticker. That's really cool.
That is one I want to do next. I actually want to do a standee of this next. Or Horn Toad. But
nice.
My next book, I'm gonna have a glow in the dark cover, I think.
Is it gonna be the Weldon cover or is it
I'm gonna save the Weldon cover as a second print. So it might be on the next campaign.
And by the way, Craig apologized. Sorry, Chad. It's an unusual request he's talking about the Stallone request.
It's all right. It's not my portraits I can do, but like on the fly like this, I'm like,
I prefer it.
I usually am very great under pressure. I mean, especially in the animation industry, I've acquired a skill for drawing different art styles like quickly.
Nice. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, you both are kind of like that.
Absolutely.
So yes. So please, yes, if if anybody hasn't backed the campaign, it's just helping me for the next one, so.
And every one is a self-contained story, so you don't.
Right.
You should have them all, but you're not going to be put out if you it's type month and you miss it. I want buy book 2.
Yeah, I just want people to, when they buy one of my books, they don't have to have all the others. They could just dive into one story and get going. So
and enjoy it. Nice.
The next one is going to be about a what if kind of story where George S. Patton gets a hold of the Spirit Destiny and builds a monster army to go conquer Russia. So it's gonna be kind of like my Michael Golden G.I. Joe yearbook in a way. So
nice.
That's one of my all-time favorite books. I just want to be able to draw lots of cool tanks and characters fighting.
Instead of disarming these German soldiers, we should be using them to fight the goddamn Russians.
Yeah. Let's the hell with them. Let's go. Let's move our army and take over the world. So,
George, did you just say that you were that you want to use the German army to invade Russia? I was just talking. I'm not a politician. I've not got no ambitions after the war.
So George Patton actually proposed to Eisenhower. He said, listen, they're going to be a threat to us. I say we just take our army and let's move forward and conquer Russia while they're, weak, because we're gonna regret it later. And Eisenhower told him, nope, you're gonna stay in Europe and you're gonna help rebuild Europe and get these people back on their feet again. So
there's a lot of extreme plans for Germany. Before the Marshall Plan, it was they wanted to turn Germany into pasture land, completely deindustrialize it and wipe out Germany as a nation, just make it pasture. But then they realized they needed a buffer between Western Europe and the Soviet Union, and Germany's always been a good one. So we better keep it intact.
So one thing I've always found interesting about the Spear of Destiny is everybody who's ever had possession of it, because it's the spear that pierced Christ, and everybody that's had possession of it has gone on to conquer nations and armies, and Hitler, there's a book written by his roommate that was living with him for many years in Vienna.
It's a good one.
So he talks about how Hitler would spend every day staring at this freaking spear in the museum in Austria, in Vienna. And finally, like when he came into power, he went and took possession of it. And that's when he started conquering Europe with that thing. And the day he lost possession of it was the day he died. So he was the last guy to have possession of it. And I went this past December and saw the spear in person and got pictures of it and stuff.
The Spear of Longinus.
Yes. Or Longinus. It sounds like a vagina.
Yeah, I guess.
Longinus.
Maybe.
So
maybe if you're in the South, it's Longinus. It sounds like a weird fucking eye disease or something.
He's actually going to be a character in my book, too.
Oh, very nice.
The actual Roman centurion?
Yes. There's a mythical story about him that after that happened, God cursed him, and he's mauled by a lion every night, like for eternity.
So it's like a Prometheus.
So he's somewhere being mauled. So I'm going to have him be this just really torn up looking guy who has a lion following him everywhere, like a sidekick. And, he teams up with him.
At the end of the night, he just goes. Just
but at the end of the night, he's like, "Well, I gotta go. Like, I've got to go pay my penance now." So
it's like, okay, you know what this is. Time to go, buddy.
I'll be back.
So that's not going to be inadvertently funny, is it, in the book, or is it supposed to be funny? Where he's like, well, time to get mauled.
That sort of, it's not going to be funny, but it's more just going to be like, oh, here's this really cool character, but this really brutal, nasty thing happens to him every night. He goes and disappears somewhere, and
because in my head, I just like the idea of him going, all right, it's 9 o'clock. I got to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
like
it's going to be like.
You remember little Nicky? He was like, okay, it's 4 o'clock. You got to shove a pine cone up Hitler's ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or a pineapple, excuse me.
Right.
Exactly.
So, yep. That's my plan. I'm a quarter of the way finished with this book. So.
Well, nice. Well, we're looking forward to it for sure.
Me too. Thank you. Yeah, indeed.
Do you guys want to wrap this thing up?
Sure.
It'll officially be our shortest show ever, but I have some shit I have to go take care of.
That's because I didn't participate.
I'm just old. I'm gonna go to sleep.
I knew that if I just penciled it, which is, the way it's going to look its best, that I would be done really quick.
I was thinking the same thing, Luke. You're snerious.
You're snerious.
I'm snerious. I'm absolutely snerious. So I appreciate you all coming out tonight. I had a really good August session drawing tonight, so that's good.
Awesome shirt. by the way.
Chad, you're welcome. Yeah, you know what it is? It's a D
Oh,
antler.
that one.
Well, both of them. They're both good.
Ninja and Yolandi.
Yeah, Ninja and Yolandi from D Antwoord. Being Beavis
Oh,
and Butthead.
right.
Yeah, and my hat. It's a D Antwoord hat. A little rat on it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I love D Antwoord. They're fucking awesome. They're the best. But I wanted to say you're welcome to come on anytime. We might just shoot
Please.
you a thing here or there just because, apparently you don't like setting up days,
I'm just
months ahead of time. That's okay. Be spontaneous. We can do that, man. We'll make it. We'll be more spontaneous. So we always leave how we begin, which is by playing Peaches. Fuck the pain away. And
Good night, everyone.
because she's awesome. So, have a good night, guys.